Welcome to today's Where's the Trade? My name is Joshua Bellinger of OptionSizzle.com, and in this video we're going to cover LSI Corperation. We're going to cover the activity leading into the earnings this evening and the things to keep in mind. So right now we're looking at a 2-year chart, and if we actually do a weekly chart, being that we're on a 2-year time frame, we could see here that even though we've been outside this little bit of a range, and if I drew a trend line from these peaks, you see that for the longest time on this time frame we have been consolidating and it's coiling. This is what's called an apex at this level here. If you break this down, we can have a triangle or we can have a wedge. Either one looks as if it could potentially see a push higher. So I wanted to share with you what I emailed to my premium members today, and this is part of the midday report. And the March 8 calls is the trade, or the idea that I said that would be the optimal one to play, being that there is some time left in the trade here. So today's action, about 70% of the options that fully traded were on the offer, with buyers in the February 7 calls at 60 cents and the March 8 calls at 25 cents. So if we go look at the trade tab here, more activity actually came in after I wrote about that, but you could see here in the February contracts, which have 23 days, we see the action in the 7s and the 8s. And when you see in the money action and you see the buying, that's a very good indication, especially going into earnings, that there's a bit of a bullish bias. Also here we look at the March 8 calls, and that's the ones I was talking about with buyers, and that has 51 days. And we look, or what I look at, and if we go back to the statistics here on Thinkorswim, something that users can always look at, you could see calls outpaced puts, and 67% of them traded on the offer. So what actually is the interesting thing is that there's been bullish positioning that I've been telling the premium members about starting on the 18th. And if we look in the Analyze tab, this is what the first block that I noticed here, with the February 8s being bought. Now, if we go through the weekend here, you could see that adds onto the open interest, and another 2,800 contracts traded on on the 22nd, traded yesterday. So if we come into today, you could see that creates 5,400 contracts of open interest. And then today we see another 4,000, which will likely increase the open interest, which I think is going to be about 8,000 contracts. This in mind is a good point where you keep in mind of where the buyers are at, and being that prices are right now at $7.50, this could be a gravitational pull or a price pull into that level, especially what we just looked at on the time frame. But being in March, you have a little bit more time on that to work out. So earnings after the bell here, I did see before I started this video a little bit of a beat, and they were a little bit lower. But if we look at the chart here, a lot of times if you keep in mind of that open interest, you might see a little bit of a gap lower, and then that's a potential opportunity to buy on a dip. So always remembering where the option activity is, or where buyers are at, and being able to get them on dips is a good opportunity. And that's why option activity is not 100% of an indicator, but it's always good to know where the money is positioning. Here's what I would like for you to do now. Make sure you click subscribe if you haven't. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment below. Tell me why you liked it, why you did not like it. And if you found the information to be valuable and you think that there's someone else out there that you know that could use the information or find the information valuable, make sure you click the share icon here and share the video with them.